Guys, we got our Funkos ready to go.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Check them out. Gonna get them signed. Travis has got his Abraham one right there. It's gonna be a good day. Let's see what we can do.
There's artists, creators, crafters.
Come on in.
Awesome folks. Here, but not here. Celebrity guests are going through.
Right. Oh, these X-Men books. See, I collect graded comics. I like the 9-2 on the Batgirl. X-Men, though, that's the stuff I like.
Do you have any questions today?
Take that. Look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty damaged. If it was a lot cleaner, it would have been a lot.
Look at that.
But it's
What do you
funny, it's
think?
fun. I think I get a kick out of that shit. Hey, he is scaring motherfuckers right now. So, you know what I'm saying? He's giving nightmares to people.
Yep. Great Godzilla stuff. Whoa!
That's pretty cool.
Hey, that would go with my my Twisted Metal Scooby-Doo thing I got. Look at that. Look at that Megazord right there. Love it. Ranger stuff. Spider-Man Rhino. Hear me roar. Freaking lightsabers. Look at that. Wow. And the Pokeballs, of course. My little brother would love that. Wow. Some Harry Potter wands and the Dragon Balls. Some Dragon Ball Z. Let's see. Collectible gold bills. Look at this. Wow. I'll be everything you wanna be. Oh. I think I'm gonna come away with these here. Really nice. Travis is gonna get this beautiful wand. Who you getting it for, Travis?
I'm getting it for my niece.
For his niece. There it is.
Well, I was asking my nephew. I got my niece something. I got to give my nephew something. Okay.
Right. Yeah, they have Ninja Turtle currency. Have Rugrats currency, Godzilla currency. I got a bunch of these for my little brother. So, whatever you think, man.
Dragon Ball.
I know, Dragon Ball is awesome.
We have our Q&A.
My Hero Academia.
Co-creator and talking about his
I already got mine, though, for you, my brother. Ooh, that's a great Spawn comic. Look at that. Some of the amazing Spider-Mans up here. Wow. G.I. Joe. I say, look at the Joe figures, the Star Wars figures. A little overwhelmed, right? With all this. Which one? This one?
I think I had that one.
You had that one back in the day?
I had this one. This is one of my favorite ones. I don't know
That
why.
was one of your favorite ones?
Yep, right there.
$25 for that thing. That's crazy.
Dude,
Now imagine if you still had it. Look at this stuff. Custom prints here and all that. And now these are the paintings. These are alcohol ink on Yupo, which is awesome.
Yeah, so I print myself. That's how I've been working. Everything myself. Oh my. Even the tote bags, that's all me. Oh my. Yeah.
That'll be Marissa Merchant. Hello. Definitely check her out, guys. Right there. I know, the Charizard's awesome. See, I love booths like this, sorry. I love booths like this. Cool right there, look at that. For the Spider-Man, and that's a painting right there. Alcohol ink. Spider-Man. It's awesome, and Venom. Guys, check her out. That's good stuff. That's really good stuff. Check her out. Good old boys. That's awesome. Look at that, man. Dukes of Hazzard playset. Nice. And you got the car. What is this? Wow. Right. General Lee's.
Add me on social media, Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram to get a gift today.
Guys, check this stuff out. You know, she is on Instagram. This is where I found her booth at. And she's got all kinds of stuff here. It's all handcrafted, right?
Yeah, I made everything.
Wow. That is some great stuff. Yes.
I knew that's the one you could look at.
Uh-huh. How much is that thing? Got a Batman and Joker and Venom. Look at that. Jeez. These are flasks, man. I love that. Stranger Things. I gotta check out this Kal-El one. Well, they got the graded here. But like I said, with the X-Men, I'm kind of partial. I love X-Men, man. X-Men's my group. Dark Knight. Just trying to find these Batmans here. Green Lantern, Groot. Ooh, a Daredevil 1. Here we go. Wait a minute. It's not the Daredevil 1 I was looking for, but you know. Looking at Red Hood. So it'll be, I don't know. You gotta look on the tops here. There it is. What you find? Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Look at that. Link of the Past. Jungle Book. The Jungle Book. Super Mario World. And I used to play the hell out of this, man.
I got that one.
I got it on Game Boy too, but I used to have this verbatim. This is regular NES games here, but
This pack.
Mario World. I mean, that's the same one as that, but let's see.
Oh, this is the one you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, Chaos in the Windy City. You know what? That's $20, man. I gotta find that somewhere. If that's a look at that. I had that game. It's a great game. So basically, he's trying to get to a game in Chicago, and you're running through like the Windy City. There's like spiders and skeletons. He's throwing freeze balls, flaming balls. You're dunking on hoops, trying to go up ladders and then trap doors, collect keys and all that stuff. And he's in his training gear at the time, like his little t-shirt and shorts and everything like that. So it's definitely a fun game if you're a Michael Jordan fan.
That's an original Nintendo.
And then the original Nintendo? Let me see this one. Wow.
You'll hear it referred to as the top loader.
The top loader. But I want my Super.
This one actually came out after the first Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's the Super.
That's what you come for.
Yep.
One thing.
It's Donkey Kong 64
Yep.
for his
I
N64.
saw the yellow. I already knew.
Yeah, already knew.
Already knew.
I think I'm going to get the console. I've been wanting it back.
So will that go in that console?
You hear that, guys? I'm getting the console back. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get a couple games, too.
I gotta look for games.
What do you think? Super Mario or Donkey Kong?
What shape am I looking
That's
for?
tough.
Huh?
Get you your Donkey Kong.
You want Donkey Kong? And where was Chaos in the Windy City?
Right here.
Grab it.
Right there.
Yep, I'm going to do all that. 2 games to go along with this. Finally got my console. Looking at these turtles. What you see? Leonardo.
If I get this for him, then I'm gonna have to.
It's 45 for that.
Well, he don't really move though. He ain't gonna be able to play with that. Like you said, it'd be hard to find something here like that.
Well, that's a 25 Krang right there. Funko.
See,
50.
something like that that's a collectible because it
Yeah,
don't move.
you want to get something that he can play with, right? Gundam.
They used to be fun to put together too.
I'll tell you what, I love Gundam. Ton of toys, man. Look at. Travis found something for herself.
Yeah, I gotta give myself out. Even though I'm not too happy with my Cowboys.
I thought you weren't a Cowboys fan anymore.
I'm a Roger Staubach.
You're a Roger Staubach fan. There you go.
That's right.
Y'all know me. I'm a Commanders fan, but he's one of my best friends, and if he wants it, he wants it. Badass right here.
I know they keep saying that the studio's gonna do it right to like finish it out, but I'm like,
Wow. All right, Pinky's done found her noodle bowls. Uh-oh. Well, these are cups, but you done found your noodle bowls. Look at the Powerpuff Girls. Look, the cats.
That's not.
Hello, Kitty.
I don't know. The powder puff girl.
There's One Piece. You know you like One Piece. Oh, look over here. Look over here. There's Bluey. There's Bluey. Look.
I love Bluey.
There's Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
There's Batman. Let's see. Dragon Ball.
No, you missed it.
Oh, I did. Oh, it's Scooby-Doo. All right. You gonna get that one? That's 25. Look at that face. I don't know. She said, I don't know. There's so many nice things, right? All the Game of Thrones shot glasses. Guys, you see what I have to deal with this girl? Look.
What?
She doesn't know what she wants. She doesn't know what she wants. He knows what he wants. He's got what he wants. I know what I want. Every time she sees something, oh.
I like that one.
Which one?
Well, I haven't seen them all yet. I'm gonna keep looking. What? I like this.
She has to keep looking. Which one? You like the Powerpuff? You want the Powerpuff?
Do I like Scooby-Doo?
That's up to you. They're 25 a bowl. Be easy now.
I like his image better.
You're like, well, you have a Scooby-Doo, don't you?
I don't have anything with them on it. I love that.
Okay, well, let's get the Powerpuff Girls. She has made her decision. Heck yeah. Raphael. That's my favorite turtle right there. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Star Wars guys. Going to the panel room.
I'll find out maybe.
The panel room, baby. Let's go. Books. Alright, that's cool right there. It's Morphin time.
Thank you for coming to Roanoke. Welcome. And my question is, do you remember where you were when you heard Ryan Reynolds would be playing your creation, and what was your first reaction?
I remember where I was when I cast Ryan Reynolds to play my creation, and that was in my home office at my previous house, because that was around 2004, because I cast Ryan Reynolds in the part before he was cast in the part. Go look it up right now if you want. Google Cable and Deadpool #2, Deadpool or Ryan Reynolds plus Sharpay. And you will see where I cast Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool in issue #2 of Cable and Deadpool, which came out in 2004. Because I thought this plucky little Canadian boy will grow into the voice in 10 years or so. He's too young now. He's a little too nasally and annoying and whiny, but in 10 years, this guy will have enough life experience. So when he found out about this, that somebody in LA told him that his name was mentioned in a comic. Marvel made me misspell his name. If you look at the panel, it's spelled Renolds. Marvel's lawyers, this is why I love lawyers, Marvel's lawyers were worried that the real Ryan Reynolds would sue Marvel for saying that Deadpool looked like a cross between Ryan Reynolds and a Sharpay. First of all, that's not how suing works. Lawyers should know that. Second of all, he wouldn't have sued because he would have not had a case. Okay, so let's say he even does sue. So what? Like, where's the profit margin? How is the book selling because Ryan Reynolds in one panel on the inside of the page has his name mentioned? So anyway, I changed the spelling of the name to appease Marvel's lawyers. And I'm really glad I didn't change it to a completely different name. I could have said Ryan Smith, but nobody would have gotten the joke, right? So he found out about it in LA, and he knew about it. He had heard about Deadpool or knew about the character's existence, but he started paying attention. He was reading it on a semi-regular basis, and then by the time a Wolverine movie was going to be cast, he wanted to get the part of Wade Wilson in the movie, much to his chagrin. But he wanted to do that because he wanted to spin it off into a movie. He thought this character could be a movie. Not to take away anything he did. I mean, he did everything to make that happen, and he's done everything to make it the qualitative level on screen that it's been. But that plucky little Canadian boy wouldn't have even thought of it if I hadn't scripted a panel. And the good thing is, to this day, he sends me $1 billion a year, which is really nice of him. After Deadpool helped him buy a phone company, a gin company, and a soccer team. So after that, he's been nothing but wonderful.
I keep your question, a great t-shirt. Fabian, it's been just so wonderful to hear all of your stories and listen to you. I could have probably talked to you for another hour.
Yeah, old people can just talk. They just talk
You're not old, my friend.
Talk. Earlier at the table, I asked someone how old you think I am. They said 43. And I go,
Take it.
Thank you, marry me. I would have been 8 years old when I wrote the comic you're holding in your hand if I was 43.
I'm like, that's brave to ask somebody how old they think they are. I'm like, age doesn't matter.
When you look like this, it's too late. It doesn't matter.
It's too late. It's too late for Fabian. We're going to end on that. It's too late for him.
Save yourselves.
He's about to get sucked into a couch. This is it. If we could end the panel by getting sucked into the couch, that would be perfect.
I'm going to need everyone to come up on stage and tilt the couch forward so that we can get out of it.
We could fall out. You're here all weekend, aren't you? So.
I am. I will be back at my table after I grab a lunch break, and I'll be there till the end of the show today, and I'll be here all day tomorrow.
So if you didn't get to ask a question or you think of something later, please go ask Fabian. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Everybody, round of applause.
Good job, everyone. Thanks.
It's lovely to see you all and lovely to be back in Roanoke. Are you having a lovely time? Yeah? Any Power Rangers fans here? Yeah. But you gotta get louder than that. You ready? Any Power Rangers fans here?
Yeah.
That's more like it. You looking forward to the next panel?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna introduce our next guest. I am Claire, for those who I've not seen before. I will introduce our next guest and I want you to whoop and scream and shout until they get onto these couches. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Shall we practice? So, 1, 2, 3, can you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, and I want that 10 times louder. Okay, guys, are you ready? Please, yeah. Yeah, I love it. Please welcome to the stage the wonderful Jason Narby and Paul Schreier. Keep it going! Whip and cheer, let's go!
Get our own couch.
You get your own couch.
You know, we do a con every year in Lexington, Kentucky, and every year they give us a couch because Paulie made a joke that he's like, okay, in our contract we want a couch. And every year we would destroy the couch.
Oh, tell me how you would destroy the couch.
Well,
with knives. Generally.
Okay.
And, the fans would like smuggle in saws and stuff like that. And like if we did not destroy the couch, they would make fun of us the next year. So we had to make sure we destroyed the couch. And when I say they, I mean the people that ran the con. If we did not completely destroy that couch, we were complete losers.
Well, okay, I am not saying anything because I want to keep my job. So
dude, this couch fights back. It like eats you.
I know. Oh my god.
Oh hey, I found some loose change in the couch. Very loose.
Watch. Don't.
I guess I am the money.
Don't go too far back. You kind of like fall into the 5th dimension. Like,
right?
You're gonna go.
They totally
I know.
get you down in there.
It eats your arse.
Oh my god, it's Jimmy Hoffa.
Guys, have you been to Roanoke before? Have
Yes.
you been here before?
Yeah. So I went to. I did grad school at the American Shakespeare Center up in Stanton, Virginia. So that's about an hour and a half north from here, right? I think. Yeah. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in this part of the country.
Me, not so much. I did make bail in the early 2000s.
Love it. Kind of want to know more about that story. Kind of want to know more. And let's talk about Power Rangers for a little bit for a second. Let's go back. Let's go back in time. And I wanted to ask you, like, so I heard that you guys were like trained actors, but mostly the other actors on set, this was their first job. This was kind of new. How did you guys feel genuinely as young men stepping onto that set?
I mean, are we talking about what we thought of them being a bunch of rank amateurs? I mean, you know.
I did not say it. I mean, I did not say
That's
it.
the way.
That's not strictly true. To be fair, our original Yellow Ranger, Twee, was a trained engineer.
Which is not a professional actor.
That's very true.
Okay.
But she had a lot of life experience. And she was not a rank amateur.
No, and actually Amy Jo had gone to acting school. She went to American Academy of Dramatic Arts, which is the oldest acting school in America. Did you know that? You didn't need to know, but now you know. And then David also did some stuff. But look, when you're an actor, right, all you want to do is be able to get a job.
Yeah.
So we were just psyched that we were making, like, you know, $500 for the entire season. Just because we were working, man. You know, we're like, oh, look at us, we're movie stars. And we thought we were faking it, you know? And so we're like, let's just enjoy it. And like Paulie and I, you know, wasted our first paychecks on swords, you know, and all that crap. It's like, oh, we'll do more theater after this. We'll need these.
This job might only last 6 months. Let's buy some swords while we can.
I love that.
Well, you know, they didn't show us the Japanese footage initially when we were working on the show. Like, we did not, and we're not allowed to see the morphing sequence, the swords running, the transformations, the end battle, none of it. And for 6 months. And then they bring us into a conference room, they're like, okay, you guys, we're gonna show you what you've really been working on. And they hit play on the VCR, and then I see like 5 animal cracker boxes being manipulated by Japanese guys with chopsticks in their hands with somebody blowing dust in from off camera. And we're like, oh shit.
Jeez, that's the end of our careers.
We are dead.
We can't,
This
we're not
is
even
gonna
going to
be-
do theater after
this
this.
is terrible.
Well, and the way they said it to us was not like, okay, guys, now we're going to show you what you've been working on. No.
It was like a bad diagnosis of the doctor. we don't have break
All
it
right,
to
we
you.
got some bad news for you.
But look at this footage.
Like, why couldn't it just be a snuff film?
Well,
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta go. There's a guy at the back.
And that's the end of our panel. Everyone goodbye.
Could we get a 40-year-old woman with a rubber chicken purse, please?
That would be me. You have one on stage.
Oh, that's right.
It is. His name is.
Oh my God, you're not kidding.
Yeah, his name's Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Yeah.
What does he do for a living?
This is his full-time job, being a chicken on stage.
Okay.
And there's a small chicken inside. Do you want to see the small chicken? Yeah. I can't. I'm like, I'm a professional. Look at my chicken bag.
It's a Russian chicken nesting doll.
She's joking.
This is Filbert.
Filbert?
Yeah, I'm really my imagination is huge.
Well, it's because you want it to be filled with cash.
Well, no, it's just.
So that's why we got the couch, because we can fill it. Okay.
More like safety pins and paraphernalia.
Fair enough.
Which is maybe, I don't know, representation of a 41-year-old woman's life. And Roanoke on the couch with a chicken bag. But sorry, back to acting. I wanted to ask you about comedy and acting, right? So like, not everyone can do comedy.
Yeah. Comedy's hard.
It's hard.
Like, it really is. Like when you're learning how to do drama, we all have drama in our lives, right? And you can dig deep and you can remember those moments. But comedy is all about timing. You got to feel comedy. That's a hard thing to teach.
Yeah, and seeing the funny in things and making things sort of like highlighting the ridiculous. Did you guys always feel like you had an affinity, a natural affinity as actors towards the lighthearted stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I think we both started off. I mean, we both started off doing a lot of theater, like we were saying. We both did some musical theater, which is actually the best way to learn comedy, because you're the guy in the back. You got no lines. You're probably in the back because you can't sing, so you better make something up, right? You don't even try to steal the scene. And I think that's where we learned a lot of our improv skills and comic skills.
Mm-hmm.
Being in the far back of the chorus. You just see this part of us. All the good-looking people are in the front. Oh my God, it's kind of like Power Rangers.
Yeah, kind of like that. We did have a list of things that we thought were funny inherently when we started working on the show. We had to come to a meeting of the minds as performers. Mm-hmm. And so I said, Narvi, what do you think is funny? And he's like, clowns with big shoes. Fair enough. Polly, what do you think is funny? People playing the piano while on fire. I find that humorous. And then Narvi said, what if it was a clown with large shoes, unable to operate the pedals while he's on fire, tickling the ivories? And so that essentially is how we would build the comedy on Power Rangers. We would find an anchor bit, and then it would get spiced up with one or two other things, but we would always return to that anchor bit, whether it's physical comedy, vocal alliteration, ticks, I mean, you name it, or props falling on our heads, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. I always think that the best actors in the world are also funny and comedians. I think that's why Tom Hanks did so well. Even Denzel is hilarious, actually. Because if you're a comedian, you're always like, okay, what's weird about this? How do I combine two things that shouldn't go together and put it together? And that makes it ridiculous. And any good actor is making good choices up there, right? Wouldn't it be interesting if Forrest Gump actually, knew that his son was worried that his son was going to be like him? Ooh, that's interesting, that kind of stuff.
Well, it's interesting that you were talking in that way before you went on set, like what do we find funny? I suppose it gets your sort of brains kind of, because you're so intrinsically together on set, your characters are as one. Did you find that kind of creatively bonded you as well, and so there maybe sometimes you wouldn't have to speak? Were there times where you're like, I can see it in his eyes.
Well,
I know exactly what I
that's
need to do.
90% of why Paulie and I worked out so well.
Yeah.
We got lucky. This is pure luck. When I got my call back, then I got paired up with him, and we had similar senses of humor and similar backgrounds. So right off the bat, we spoke the same language. And one of the very first things Paulie ever said to me after introducing himself was, "Let's get to work." That's it. So we started working, and work is play, and play is how you create friendships, and friendships are how you create chemistry on film and on set.
What did you learn from each other as actors then, like as creative storytellers? Like, because you're obviously great friends and you still have a rapport today. And you could see that on set as well. But now, like looking back, what did you learn from each other as actors?
Martial artists can't act. That's what I learned. Gymnasts are not automatically Academy Award winning actresses.
It's sort I mean, it's true. We keep each other's egos in check. So like when Power Rangers blew up, we never were like, wow, we're stars. It was like, no, you're a freaking idiot. Let's get back to work. You know, that's one of the things we learned. So, and we learned to steal everything. I still steal all of Paulie's bits. To this day, I hear myself saying crap that Paulie said 25 years ago.
Was there a point though, like, because that show, my little brother loved Power Rangers so much, it was like so sudden, all of a sudden he was like, he had all the toys and all the stuff, and he was playing with them in the bath, and I was like, what is this? Like, it became such a phenomenon. But for you guys, on the other side, when did you realize, wait a minute, this is kind of big?
It was evident. I mean, they told us within 7 seconds of the show premiering that it was #1 in the world already. No pressure.
Yeah.
It was like, and then of course we're still making $8 a week, you know, and the show is just meteorically climbing the charts and going into every country and being dubbed into everything. You should hear us as Mexicans.
We speak impeccable Spanish.
Amazing Spanish.
Impeccable.
In Germany, the fat guy had the squeaky voice and the little guy had the deep voice.
Which is funny, actually.
It is. When we did Motorcycle and Sidecar, and you're like, oh, and I'm in the thing, I find that humorous. The fact that they didn't let me drive the motorcycle really chuffed my high.
Well, it's because you drove it once, and Paulie actually had a motorcycle license before we filmed, and then I had to go to motorcycle training. And you went, do you remember we did a take? You went around. He goes around, can I tell them? He goes around the bend, and I'm in the sidecar, and he goes, boom, and he hits the curb, and I go, gah, and I was like this in the sidecar, but when he went up, I was like this. And they're like, okay, Narvi, you're driving from now on.
Yep, verboten from driving the motorcycle.
It's so insanely, some of what you did was so insanely physical. Which is crazy. Did it make you want to like up your game a little bit when you were watching Paul going, what the hell? Anything that ever surprised you in terms of his movements or physicality?
If I may, so when you act together as physical comedians, you often have to do routines where you're physically in close proximity to each other. Slapstick requires falling down generally. And so 10 years after we were on the show, Narvi says, Paulie, I still have dreams of you falling on me. So it's basically, it's poly-traumatic stress syndrome. Yeah, it's
PTSD. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah, I had my girlfriend turn over once on me. I'm like, Paul! Oh, okay, oh God.
I was hoping you might go, oh, Paul. Oh my God.
And frankly, our show was non-union for a good portion of its filming, and there were no stuntmen. There's one thing where there's a trash can rolling down a hill and you see my legs and my feet. Those are just 2x4s with jeans on them, with just the boots like stapled on. And then I had a stuntman one time where I jumped into the trash can.
The Green Ranger. That was
when Tommy tries to kick our butt in the alley.
I think that was the only time we really had stuntmen.
Until the movie.
Exactly.
And then they're like, you can't even take a breath without it being a stuntman.
No.
Were you just bloody exhausted when you got home at night sometimes?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like genuine, because like I know when adrenaline kicks in, you don't feel anything.
No.
But were there times where you're like, oh yeah, everything hurts? Like everything hurts.
No, I mean we were still young and pliable. We were still 90% cartilage at that point in our lives.
I was never severely injured working on the show.
Shockingly, we
Ever.
were not.
Although we did see repeated Japanese stuntmen break limbs because they were so committed to their craft. To the Japanese stuntman, an injury was a badge of honor. And so the harder you could push and hurt yourself, not only did you get a few days off, but you also made yourself look like a god in the eyes of your stuntmates.
Dude, I remember I worked out with them, the stunt crew at one point.
What does that mean? What do you mean, worked out? What does that mean?
It's when you use your muscles.
Oh, you mean those places with the how do you say that?
Torture racks. Torture racks.
Gymnasium.
Gymnasium, that's it.
Never been in one.
Oh, they're horrible.
Seen them.
Especially when there's Japanese stuntmen there. So like when we were doing stretches, just stretches. Literally, I think Koichi was running the stretches, and he points to me, and then he says to he says, make him cry. I'm like, ah! And they would literally sit on you as you were going like this, and there's a Japanese guy on your back. So like badge of honor.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Yeah.
Like, there's this little Asian lady masseuse that I've got back in LA, and she's so sweet and so lovely. And like, my god, like I quite like feeling it, but because I said that to her once, she was like standing on my back and like cracking me and like pulling me like this. Yeah, it's like I kind of weirdly I like feeling everything crack.
Sign me up for the Swedish, will you?
Yeah, no, totally. Nice, relaxing spa experience.
I was doing a show a couple of years ago, and I made the mistake of going to a masseuse. It was a Chinese masseuse, and we were doing Macbeth, and I hurt my back. And so I go in there. There's a bit of a language barrier, so I just pointed to my back and I go. And he goes. I'm like, great. He knows I have a bad back. And
Did you make it to the convention the next day, Barry?
No.
He was doing the Scottish play, for God's sakes.
I still had to finish the damn play. I just couldn't move. The whole show I was like this. Tomorrow and tomorrow.
Nobody
and
can do that
tomorrow.
hunched over thing like Narvi. It's amazing, Macbeth.
I like that.
Really believed he was dead. It was amazing.
But when you were younger, because like we're sitting at a convention here today with lots of fans, and you get to talk to these fans and share stories. But for you guys, I always like to ask this: growing up, were you nerds, and what kind of things were you into? What would you have been looking at if you were coming to conventions as a kid?
Ooh, I mean, I was into Batman. You know, I mean, geekdom obviously didn't exist in the same way, right? All there was Star Trek conventions back then. That was it. You know, Star Wars was the alternative, and Star Wars fan culture was not then what it is now. It was the only game in town. So if you were not into sports, you were into Star Wars for all intents and purposes, I think.
Yeah, I was into Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
So it's always awesome to get to be next to Sam, who is a hero of mine. And I loved the beginnings of Japanese anime in American culture, all the Harmony Gold productions, Robotech, etc. Big fan.
That's right, because first time we watched Power, I remember after having that moment of shock of, oh God, we tied ourselves to this. I remember like going back to our dressing rooms and I turned to you and I'm like, you know what, I could see it working. It reminds me of Voltron. It's a live action Voltron, now that I think about it.
Is it plagiarism? Is it homage? You decide.
Plagiarism.
Growing up, I always looked at America growing up, coming from Scotland. And I just thought America was so cool with it. And even like, if you look at like Power Rangers in the high school experience, I was convinced that everybody had those like red lockers from Saved by the Bell and things like that. And the high school was just like how I saw it, because my experience was so dull and grey. Did you have the red lockers?
No, I mean, that's the funny thing. I grew up in California. Paulie grew up partially in California, but he moved all around, but largely in the West. And in the West, I feel like we didn't really have lockers like that anywhere. Like in order for us to film Power Rangers, there was one school in the greater Los Angeles area that had indoor locker rooms like that, or lockers like that, I feel like.
It's a myth. Childhood shattered.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't like in the thing.
No, I think that's an East Coast thing. Right. I think you'd find that on the East Coast.
Yeah, I always kind of looked to America for growing up. I was like, wow, everything's so bright and beautiful, and there's red lockers, amazing. But speaking of, let's go back to Power Rangers just for a little bit. There were so many. You guys, you evolved over time. Your characters evolved. I wanted to ask you about that evolution. You were detectives. At one point, that you were in a cave.
That was for the clip show where we got to show all of our bits out of context with no story for the Rangers. That sold about 7 copies.
No, it came free with the Green Ranger.
No.
So, genuinely, if you were stuck in a cave with each other now, what would that be like? I need a snapshot. What would you do? What would you say? Who'd go crazy first?
No wives, no kids, no mortgage,
No.
just a pallet full of beer and 2 dipshits. Sounds like heaven to me. I don't know. As long as we get a real commode, though, don't want to have to,
Okay. Who's losing their mind first in the cave?
Oh, me. Me,
Yeah?
definitely. Yeah, I can't sit still.
Oh, are we talking about like a day 2 or a slow descent into madness?
Oh, like hour 2. I mean, if I can't go anywhere, hour 2, I'm like hitting Paul and stuff.
Okay.
Jason is just psychotic. I'm insecure. So look, you know, if you go to a concert, there's always a security guard outside with like a nylon jacket with yellow block letters on the back that say security. Well, I want to make one of those that says insecurity. And I want to hang outside the concert and be like, do I look fat in this? And people will be like, no. And be like, you are in. You're good. Give this person the blue stamp. They get free drinks.
I feel like you said psychotic and insecure, and that's just the creative industry. That's true. That sounds like all of my friends.
Usually it's neurotic and insecure.
That's true.
We're
There
not
are-
usually borderline personality disorder.
That's true. There are more words we could say, but still. Guys, let's hand it to the fans, but first of all, a round of applause for these two lovely folks.
Thanks for coming out today. Nice to see you all.
Thanks for caring.
And so, now we hand it to the fans.
Don't tell my wife!
Where's Marshall? Round of applause for Marshall's manning the stage this weekend. Yeah, Marshall. Okay, get your wee hands up. Let's get some questions. Straight into the mic, please. What's your name and question?
My name is John. The movie. Tell me about the movie. What was it like filming that? I was 10 years old when that came out. My mom took me to see it, and I loved every minute of it. First off, what was it like jumping out of the plane?
We didn't. Next.
Nah, man, it was Stuntman. It was a skinny guy in a fat suit.
Okay.
Yeah, I told him I wasn't too happy with his portrayal of the fat guy, and he was okay with that.
What did you enjoy the most about the movie, about filming?
Well, if you remember how much we are or are not appearing in that film on camera, there was a lot more material scripted for Bulk and Skull that had to be cut. Because that's the thing that happens when you're on set. There's never enough time in the day and stuff has to be cut. But unfortunately, it was us. And so we were in the country for 6 months and we only worked about 9 days. So that was a lot of downtime, making per diem and traveling around and learning about Australian history, indigenous culture, opal mining by colonialists. Pretty amazing.
He's saying that basically we got drunk, went out to the desert, bought cars, and lost 6 months of our lives and we can't seem to remember what the hell happened.
It was great. On the way home, Jason decided he was going to try to smuggle home a cow head that he had found in the desert. And the housekeeping group at the hotel called the police because there was a cow head in the tub in his room. They kicked him out of the hotel.
In my defense, I also had a sheep's head as well, and they never found it.
You smuggled animal body parts back from Australia?
Oh yeah! Oh, I still got them. Oh yeah, it was a
Really?
horror show.
Have you got the
Because I went out to the outback, okay?
Right.
And it sounds even creepier than it is, okay? I was out in the middle of the outback. This is kind of funny. So I'm driving the outback, and I have to pee. I'm like, oh, I gotta find a place to pull over. And I go, oh, there's a tree, and I ran 400 yards from the road. And so anybody's gonna be coming, right? And so I'm peeing behind a tree like this. And I realize nobody's coming, and I see what looks like a cow laying down. I'm like, oh, it's dead. And so I just, took its skull, ripped it off. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Threw it in the car. Then I drove a little bit further, and I found a sheep's head, just right up. It wasn't the head; it was just the skull. And it was all it was shaded red from the red clay desert. It soiled the desert. I just picked it up, threw it in the car.
We had an amazing time working on that movie. The biggest difference from the TV show was that there was a budget. So you look at Power Rangers, the TV show, and you look at the sets and you're like, that's cardboard. That's cardboard with some latex paint on it. Oh wait, look at the cracks, that's Cheese Whiz right there. They just laid a bead of Cheese Whiz down and then did it like caulking. And then we got on the movie set and everything was so Cadillac and so beautiful. It was, the command center in that movie was amazing. All the sets were fantastic. Except for that end sequence with the 3D that was not finished.
Thank you.
I got one more. Who are your favorite cast members to work with, besides each other?
That's a tough call. That's a tough call. You go first.
I'm gonna say the cast of MMPR was my favorite because we were all young and it was new and we shared that experience together. But you imagine every year they have a new group of 5 or 6 Power Rangers, right? The show's been going for 30 plus years. We need multiple city buses to put all those kids on. And some of them are now 55 years old, like myself.
Except for Walt, he's 80.
That's right, but he looks like he's 30.
He looks the same, right? Have you seen recent pictures? My brother has not changed at all. Not at all, not one iota.
Now, our MMPR castmates, I mean, look, we love all of our castmates, but Johnny and Karen and Stevie are amazing people, but, you know, you can't love them all, you know?
Thank you for your question.
At this point, we don't name them, because if you name them, you gotta love them, and when you put them down at the end of the season, you know?
That escalates quickly. Thank you for your question.
Right,
and if there are no more, honestly, if you guys are not going to ask more things about the sheep and the cows,
John, did you just yield back your time?
Right, go on, my friend.
My name's Brandon, and my favorite, my question is, what's your favorite story from like JDF, like you know, behind the scenes, like y'all had, like what's a crazy prank that he pulled on y'all or anything like that?
I don't think we can repeat any of them.
There were some Ben Gay in the undergarments pranks. Yeah, you know, so there was stuff like that. I was never the target, always just an observer, which that's hilarious. You see somebody dance around because they got Ben Gay up in their junk. So to speak.
Thank you. Hands up, who's got a question? Don't be shy. Who's got a question? You've got somebody at the front here, Marshall. Hello, loving the hoodie. What's your name, my friend?
My name is Travis. How you doing, guys?
Travis.
Hey, I wanted to say you guys are absolutely hilarious. You're great. Go 90s kids, because you guys held that show together during serious moments. You brought the comedy, and we absolutely love you for it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I wanted to ask about the final episode you guys did in Power Rangers in Space, which was a huge episode for your characters. When you guys read that script and you got to see that you guys were basically going to inspire the Power Rangers to reveal their identities and then fight alongside them, what was that like reading that?
Plagiary. We've all seen Spartacus. We've all seen it.
That was our first reaction. We were like, lame ripoff. Lame. But then we realized it really did complete the character arc for Vulcan Skull to actually become heroes. And I did get to kick ass for 5.2
Yeah, they started off as bullies, and then to see them become heroes over about 6 or 7 years,
cool, man.
that was
They teased
amazing.
it a couple times. There's a few episodes where we kind of save the day and then lose our memories.
Yeah.
You know, again and again. So, yeah, so it was cool. You know, we like the idea that our characters could grow like that.
Thank you very much for your question.
Thank you. Thanks, Travis.
Hands up, who's got a question? Yeah, we've got a few more here. Yeah, got 3. Thanks, Marshall. Hello, right into the mic. What's your name and question?
Hi, my name's Brian. I have to ask this as every Power Rangers actor I meet. What set of Zords would you pilot if you could choose from any of them?
No Zords.
Which Zord? Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm talking sets, not individual. Like which Ultra Zord? Yes.
What's that big ass Tyranno one? One where it looks like all of the Zords are together. That thing is massive. I like that thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, very much like America, more power.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we've got a few more here. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you. Get your steps in. Hello, friend. What's your name and question?
My name is Jordan. What's your favorite color Power Ranger?
What's your favorite what?
Color Power Ranger.
Purple.
Orange.
Thank you very much. Hello, my friend. All right, my love. What's your name and question?
Hi, my name is Jessie. Is there any episode that you liked the most performing?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of them. We had a lot of fun. Like, the Western was super fun because we got to play cowboys. We loved the food fight when we first got it because having been raised on, you know, like John Belushi and food, you know, the food fight from Animal House and every other slapstick movie. Dude, a major pie fight. We were like, oh,
plagiary.
You're the one that taught me to steal, Paulie. I learned it from watching you.
I learned it from watching you.
Which means I stole it from him.
I don't know. I like the episodes where we got to actually show a little emotion. Like Skull playing the piano is an episode that is so sweet and so cute. I got to hit on the police chief's daughter.
That was a
had
great
like a brief
episode.
romance, and then she dumped me apparently after that episode because we can't continue those storylines once the episode's done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, friend. What's your name in question?
My name is Kevin, and I wanted to ask you guys your time for the Forever Red episodes. Do you have any story of your time on set for that?
Yeah, I got some complaints about that. First of all, I'm supposed to be stuck on Marinoy. Jason's supposed to be on Earth. No explanation of how I got back. No Professor Phenomenus. Just me at a cafe that apparently I run that's owned by Tommy. Tommy, who just sits on a lounge chair, just like barks orders at us. Great return for Forever Red.
I'm going to one-up that one. Don't forget, they wrote me off the show because I asked to be written off so I could go to college. I'm going to leave Los Angeles. I'm not going to be anywhere near Valencia. 4 years later, the moment I graduate from college, I'm back in Valencia doing Power Rangers again. Thank you, $500,000 worth of student loan debt.
How you doing on that? Go to college, kids, is totally worth it.
Thank you very much.
I'd recommend the French Foreign Legion over a collegiate career.
Hands up, who's got a question? Oh, thanks, Marshall.
Marshall.
Hello, what's your name in question?
My name is Matt. We met earlier. So, like I mentioned earlier, definitely heroes, you guys, on the show. Definitely the heart of the show. But I was curious, how much money do you think you guys owe Ernie, and are you still paying it off?
Yeah, you notice there was never any money exchange in the juice bar? Yeah,
He was like selling like smuggled pandas in the back or something. He didn't even care about that.
Don't do it. Exactly.
I'll be right back.
It's like a Brooklyn bodega. You don't know what's under the counter. That's funny. We love the juice bar. We knew, even shooting in those moments, we were like, this is a fantasy of a clubhouse. Like just random people exercising for no reason. And then random people coming to that same machine, and then that person leaves and another person just starts and they're all in the background. And then of course, why would we pay for a drink that gets dumped on our heads, right? So you're not expected to, pay for the cake if you have to put your face in it.
Most people do not watch Power Rangers for the lessons in economics.
Thank you so much, thank you. Do we have any more questions at all?
One more in the back. He wants to ask the second one.
Oh, absolutely, my friend, absolutely.
Fox News in the back with follow-up.
So, second question is, I know y'all directed a few. Didn't y'all direct some of the Australia episodes? And how was it?
We were assistant directors in Australia. Paulie directed some episodes later with the Kid Rangers. So in Australia, what happened was the network needed the film was running over, and the network needed more episodes. Tony Oliver had gone overseas on behest of Saban to oversee what 20th Century Fox was doing to Saban's baby. And so, since he was already over there, they're like, well, you got to put a crew together and you got to deliver 6 episodes. And we worked very closely with Tony, and he trusted us, sucker. And so we assistant directed for those episodes.
And they also didn't have to hire local crew for those 2 positions.
Yeah. So that was.
It saved them a little money.
Yeah, that was the most tears we ever had. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Any other questions? Please don't be shy.
Financial advice, relationship advice.
Oh, I mean, if Eddie was, I may have a few questions.
We're here to heal. We're here to heal.
Does anyone need healed?
Somebody was sound like faith healer.
No,
I got this snake here.
No, that's dog training for Sid.
I've never asked that to a comic crowd. Does anyone need healed? Is everybody okay?
That's right, exactly. Before you start, how is everyone feeling today?
I'm gonna go around and pass the mic. So wait a minute, I have a question for the assembled.
Yeah.
So like we've been watching the Power Rangers IP like seemingly like a zombie lope on year after year. And for myself, I wonder how long can this possibly go on? So of course production did stop, but then there was like hints of a reboot, and then that kind of went away, and now there's like more press about a reboot. Are you guys interested in seeing this thing continue?
Yeah.
You know, very much like Star Trek, there's a moment where you're like, the cheese was in cardboard, I've been pushed too far. And so I wonder, like, when we jump the shark, you know, or if the shark's already been jumping.
Well, like, where do you see Bulk and Skull fitting in now? Like, at this stage?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Oh no, I see us as the uber evil villains we were always meant to be. I think that would be a perfect spot for Bulk and Skull to do us one song.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's funny, I forget what year it was where Lord Zed and Rita were living in a trailer park on the moon.
Zeo.
Like, that should have been Bulk and Skull, so after they
Zeo.
did it, I mean, what are we going to do?
Zeo.
That's funny.
That's really funny.
I don't care what you say,
Love
that's
that.
funny.
So you would you like to see them come back, or would you just like to...
Cartoon.
Or you can look at us in the upcoming Vox Rocket film, Spades.
Spades, yeah, that's probably coming out, directed by Johnny Young Bosch. Coming out perhaps, we're looking for, I think, June. That's a feature film. Paulie plays a cameo, and I play
I'm the police chief. Hard-nosed, biting police chief.
And I play a hardened detective in that one. It's cool. Yeah.
Love it.
So keep your eyeballs. It is funny. I did notice when I updated my reel a few years ago, all my best comic scenes were with Paulie, and like even my Power Ranger like serious scenes were with Johnny, which was really strange, right up to this day. So you ask who we work with the most, Johnny would be the number 2 actually.
I loved it. Johnny's such a nice guy.
He's a great guy. He's extremely creative.
So talented.
He's exceptionally talented. Yes, he deserves that applause.
Yes.
His brain is always going. He's always like, okay, I got an idea, dude. You know, and they're always great ideas, and he is a workhorse. He can do it.
I love how he brings his kid to every time I've interviewed him anyway, he's always got his kid there. He's great, he's such a talent. Guys, no more questions? We good? Well, can we have a round of applause for the fan questions, please? Because they were good questions. Guys, you're here all weekend.
Yes, we're here all
That's
weekend.
correct, right. Okay, so if anyone wants to ask you a question at your table, you're okay with that?
We're there. We're great. Yes,
Great.
come by, say hi.
You have both been absolutely wonderful. I don't feel healed, but
Very healed.
But hopefully we'll work on that through the weekend. Are you okay? But guys, thank you so much for this panel, and hopefully we will see you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Guys, it's Jason and Paul, everybody.
I hate this guy.
Guys, we had a good time.
Oh yeah.
You got to meet your guy.
Yeah.
You got to meet
Piggy in the Brain.
Yep.
And Vulcan Skull.
and Bulk and Skull.
Oh,
so
they were great.
epic day. We're gonna do it again, hopefully for GalaxyCon. So stay tuned to that. Don't forget to like and subscribe.